We be live. Hello, Durud and Shalom. My name is Armin Navabi.
And I'm Ali Samani. Welcome back, everyone. We are your Iran analysts, and today we will be speaking about the strategies of both sides, the Islamic Republic and the United States. We have some information for you, along with some analysis quickly on Ukraine and our usual program. Looks like Diego Garcia is running into a few problems here. Another ship got hit last night, and 3 more missiles got fired from Syria into the Strait of Hormuz 4 hours ago. It's not looking so good in terms of reaching a deal. So perhaps we're heading back to war, and we definitely are. The key figures of the Islamic Republic are getting geared up politically to head back into a war. I'll tell you exactly what they've been saying and what it means. So first of all, what is the strategy of the Islamic Republic? It's frankly, there's not much to it. It's a couple things that they need to do. So the Islamic Republic needs to go back to war. They need to. And yes, it might sound ridiculous to you, but they want to, they need to. And let's get into that for a second. So the war that the Islamic Republic wants to get into, in my opinion, Armin, is not the 40-day war where the officials were dying and the bombs were dropping everywhere. I think it's the war in the south of Iran that was hitting. Both sides were just throwing missiles at each other. It was kind of a phony war. Not really much was being done in the grand scheme of a war. What do you think?
And that plus a regional war. They want a war, they want in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, maybe even close to the Suez Canal, Bab el Mandab, maybe, spread it out outside of Iran. Get more players involved.
It's the Saddam Hussein strategy of, hey, let's escalate and cause as much problems for the world as possible. I think we all know how Saddam Hussein ended up in the end there, but you're right. And the more this escalates, the more to their advantage, but it needs to escalate the way that the Islamic Republic needs it to. You can't have a country like Ukraine getting in. We'll actually explain that in a few minutes here, but the Islamic Republic wants to incur casualties on American soldiers. We didn't catch this, but apparently 2 days ago, the IRGC did attack Erbil. We covered that part. We didn't know that they were targeting U.S. Army barracks. They landed a direct hit on a U.S. Army barracks. Thankfully, there were no casualties. It looks like they evacuated, but that was a close call. And it looks like they do want to incur these casualties to get the United States public angry. Why? In about 2.5 months, we have something in the United States called the midterm elections. If the Republicans lose the majority of the Senate and the House, it becomes a lot more difficult, on paper at least, to continue this war. And that's what the Islamic Republic believes. The more expensive it is for the U.S. to conduct strikes and keep up their military operations in the Middle East, the more they incur casualties, the more pressure on Donald Trump and the Republicans. Diego Garcia is actually facing some problems because of the IRGC, some logistical problems. We'll get into that. They struck during the war, and we're only seeing the extent of the damages now. So, Armin, did you see what Pezeshkian said? He said, we need to help the companies of our country. We need to help the companies. Why would a president need to say we need to help the companies of our country? Is that a good sign? Are they doing well? Do they need help?
Well, when Pezeshkian says that, that coming from Pezeshkian would mean completely something different from if it comes from someone else within the regime. That's Pezeshkian's way of saying we need to stop war. All right, but it's interesting because another official within the regime saying that would mean that we need to start a war against Pezeshkian. So it depends on who says it. Well, when Pezeshkian says that, he's basically begging the pro-regime people to stop the war.
Correct. But the thing is, with what money? The Islamic Republic makes its oil revenue. That's the most amount of money that it gets for its budget is from oil, and they're not getting oil revenue right now. The companies are all corrupt. They're owned by the IRGC, or at least the IRGC have dipped their fingers into the company. and taking the oil money from the people of the country, the wealth of the country, dumping it into the IRGC companies is just a little bit of a loop. And the only exit is where they waste this money on war. They've done that for decades. As a government, the Islamic Republic, as a government, should have solved its problems with its own people first. Then it should have solved its problems with the world. It didn't do either of these things. The people are incredibly angry. There's no government revenue. The currency of Iran depreciates on a weekly basis. Scott Bessent said they're about to exact the most amount of economic isolation and pressure the United States has ever conducted on a single country before this coming week. And you can see the result of it. The gas lines are miles long. People take hours out of their day to go get gas. Food inflation is over 300%. They can't conduct trade with other countries around the world. They can't even build their ballistic missile program as effectively as before. We have a piece on that for you as well. They're blockaded. They're bleeding economically. Trump was willing to remove the blockade for them. He was willing to give them an MOU with favorable terms if they just changed their ways. And of course, they can't. They never can, ever, which is why after 6 months of negotiations, we're back to getting ships hit in the Strait of Hormuz every single day. And this is all going to get worse because fall and winter are coming up. Statistically, people need more gasoline during the winter when it gets colder. Food inflation is rising. It's going to be colder. It's going to be harder. It's going to get just much, much worse. The Islamic Republic, to counter all this, they don't want to deal with their internal problems. So then the U.S. strategy is force the Islamic Republic to confront the crises that it's created at home, like the rising costs and the gas lines, the internal division. Force them to deal with that. If they hit a ship, we're not going to get provoked into going into a war with them. We're not going to go and strike the South for another 2 weeks. They hit a ship, they hit a ship. It's not a U.S. ship. It's not an Israeli ship. It's an Arab ship. It's a Chinese ship. Who cares? We don't need it. We, the U.S., we just made $100 billion over the past 5 months selling oil and petrochemical. We don't need it. We're producing more and more. We're selling to Europe. We're selling to Asia. We actually just bought oil from Saudi Arabia so other countries couldn't get it. The Americans just bought oil from Saudi Arabia, not to refill their own falling oil reserves, but so make it that other countries around the world couldn't buy that oil. Now the United States can sell that for a premium and make more money. That's the general business strategy on terms of the oil front. The U.S. positioned itself to make it a win-win, whatever happens. The lose-lose situations for the Islamic Republic and a win-win for the United States, because time keeps on going. And as long as the blockade is in place, I'm starting to think, Armin, that Mossad chief who said by the end of the year, the Islamic Republic might fall due to the blockade, maybe he knew what he was talking about. Might not take to the end of the year, maybe not another 4 months, could take another 6, another year, but it's doing some work. And I can't wait to see what Scott Bessent does this coming week. He's not the most charismatic person. I think you saw the clip of him talking. But when you read his words on paper, you kind of go like, oh, So I can't wait to see what he does in terms of targeting the IRGC officials' bank accounts in particular. What do you think Scott Bessent is up to? Do you think he could be planning to target the bank accounts of the Basij? Cyber attacks on the banks? We've seen those things before. What do you think?
I think a lot of people are underestimating how big of a deal the economic isolation of the Islamic Republic is right now. I think that it's crippling the Islamic Republic from the inside. And as much as many of us here prefer, want the Americans to go in all out and do major kinetic military operations, this might be the most strategic position for the United States to be. If they then, leaving this area means that they that would be a defeat. That would be seen as a defeat. Escalating it would also be not good for the elections, munitions, oil markets. But the Americans have found a way to just with very, very little cost, just sit there and cause maximum damage to the Islamic Republic without even escalating and causing disruption in global markets. Oil prices are low. People are not paying as much attention regarding the situation in Iran, in the United States. People have moved on, so it's not something you want to anger Americans about regarding the unpopularity of the military operations. It's just kind of, without it getting really that big on the news, you're basically causing so much. There's no explosions to be on the news. You're hurting the Islamic Republic even more than military operations without making a big deal. Kind of not talk about like managing to do more than bombs without getting the headline and news covering it, right? The Islamic Republic is feeling like it's trapped. It tried to damage the global economy. Its own economy is now suffering, and it's collapsing under this. This is like more isolation than any country has ever experienced. Both the naval blockade and Scotty B's, economic fury is doing an amazing job. We're getting to the point where the regime that always pretends that it can tolerate economic hardship, even on their own media, they're coming out and it's undeniable. Things are starting to crack really badly, and this is why the regime doesn't want to allow the United States to continue putting this much pressure on it without going to war. That's why they prefer war, because they think that this is so bad that a military operation with the United States is actually so much more preferable to what they're experiencing right now.
Yep. Hit the nail on the head. More beneficial for them to go to war, which is insane. Insane. Take a look at this, guys. This is what it looks like in Iran at the moment if you would like to go and pump some gas. We'll play this clip for you guys. This is the north of the country by the Caspian Sea. Now, this is the situation across the entire country. Most of the major cities have this exact problem. Smaller towns have an even larger problem. If you would like to pump gas, please set aside about 2 to 3 hours of your day to be able to fill up about half your tank. You're going to have to repeat that in about 3 days, by the way. When it takes hours of your day, multiple times a week, that you have to set aside, that time that you may not have, to go and get gas, you go home, you spend half your month's salary on about 2 weeks of food. You get home, you put that food in the fridge, the power goes out for 20 hours a day.
Jeez.
The food spoils. You have no food for your children. Your wife looks at you differently. You're the man of the house, perhaps, or you were at one point, perhaps. This is the daily reality that Iranians face, and it is the reason, the biggest reason, that will force them to come back out on the streets. Now, one thing straight, ladies and gentlemen, it is not as a result. This, what you see right here, these lines that you see in the situation I described, are not a result of the United States of America. They're not a result of the US and Israel. These are a direct result of decades of mismanagement of the Islamic Republic. Let me give you a statistic that I'm not saying, the Islamic Republic itself says. The economic minister of the Islamic Republic says our economy hasn't grown in 16 years. 16 years ago, our economy stopped growing. Since then, we've shrunk. Our economy's shrunk. Do you guys think that the country of Iran, with such natural resources, strategic positioning, 90 million people, is going to get crippled like that because of US sanctions placed on it for a few years? Or do you think it's because the Islamic Republic has mismanaged a gift that was given to them in 1979? Any other government that was moderately competent would have turned this country into 10 times what you might see in the United Arab Emirates and Dubai. They turned it into this. When people tell you, oh, this is because of US sanctions, it's not true. It's not true. Isn't that right, Armin?
Well, it is because it is partly because of the sanctions, but the sanctions exist because of the Islamic Republic. It is partly because of the war. It is partly because of the sanctions, but the sanctions and war were brought about by the Islamic Republic waging war against the whole world, against the West, against Israel and the United States. This is the result of that. What do you expect? What do you want?
Exactly.
What do you want the world to do? Wage war against the superpower of the world and not think that it's going to come? They're going to respond. Obviously, they're going to respond. Saying that you're going to annihilate, wipe Israel off the map, and one day destroy the United States. What are they supposed to do? Like no sanctions and no war against the people who want to get rid of you? Of course, there's going to be a response. So yeah, the sanctions have an effect, but who's responsible for the sanctions? The Islamic Republic.
Correct. Armin, I think you wanted to show us something. What is it?
Oh, is this the time? Do you want me to show you now?
What is it?
It's it's in the shrine of Imam Reza.
Oh yes, I got that too. Can we come back to that in a bit?
Okay.
I would like to make sure that first we see what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social. He posted Behnam Ben Talablu.
Ooh, he did.
You guys might have seen me. Yes, you guys might have seen me show you guys a few clips from him before. He's an incredibly well-spoken man. He can speak in both Farsi and English at a high proficiency. Incredibly intelligent. It's posted by Donald Trump today regarding Iran.
So basically,
let's actually take a listen. And if you guys should listen to anything, just listen to this 60 seconds that he says. And I'll explain it afterwards.
So basically, constraining the regime on the budgetary side post-fighting while adding on the blockade basically allows you to weaponize the dollar in a way that you have done damage, particularly to the above-ground solid propellant ballistic missile production in Iran. And if you squeeze the resources at a time when they otherwise have budgetary issues, they have subsidy issues, it was a failed state pre-war, it was a failed state even pre-protest. Anyway, when you look at the macroeconomic indicators sliding this way, like inflation, for example, in the Islamic Republic, you maximize that, which means you maximize the damage that was done by the kinetics in the previous round of fighting. And if Iran's philosophy is, you mentioned partisan politics, if it's build back better as quickly as possible, some of you may know that, Bill.
Are you saying that the IRGC are a bunch of Democrats?
I'll let you say that, Mike. But if their philosophy is to build back better, or to build back faster, or to race us to build, these are the tools that actually put time on our side. Because if you marry this powerful financial architecture with what the blockade was able to do, I mean, just look at the oil exports from February, I think, to May. 2.1 million barrels per day, 1.15 million barrels per day, 900,000 million barrels per day. And then by the time you got to the full month of the blockade, after about a half month of the ceasefire, you had only 64,000 barrels per day. Only 4 ships got past the US that month before we got into the month that led to the negotiations that got into the MOU. So this will be effective. So basically.
Yeah, absolutely. How well spoken is that guy?
He's also very well informed. He's a really good source
Yes.
of information. Yes.
Yeah, so he works very closely with Saeed Ghassanejad and many other people high up in the Iranian opposition as well. They write articles together all the time. So if anyone's asking like who he is, his name is Behnam Ben Talablu. You can find him at FDD. And if you just search his name on YouTube, he has multiple interviews. He actually correctly predicted the day of the war, the February 28th strikes. He said exactly it was going to be during that day. Someone who's very well informed, so he knows a lot of things. That's a great point. The point that he said about we're maximizing what we did in the kinetic strikes. We destroyed the production of the ballistic missiles and drones. Now we're making it difficult for the Islamic Republic to buy more of those parts from China and Russia. Why? Because the rial sucks. The currency of the Islamic Republic sucks. It's not worth anything. What you could have bought a year ago is like nothing. Right now is nothing compared to a year ago. So I always love following the money here. Again, hard to give you guys a timer on, exactly how and when that's going to affect or cause the Iranian people to come out. But we're absolutely on track for that. Not just my words. The Islamic Republic themselves are gearing up for an internal uprising, not just by us Iranian people, but by their own supporters as well. Something that is not happening in a lot of other countries around the world, but it should. So real quick, Armin, do you mind if we go into Russia, Ukraine, and how that ties into Iran? And then we can come into Iran and give our, everything like that.
Sounds good.
I think we should bring something back that was very popular in the 1950s in Iran, which was the anti-Russian wave. Let's tweak that a little bit. Let's make it anti-Putin. I think this is going to be very, very necessary for us Iranians to do it. I mean, why is it necessary for us Iranians to be anti-Putin?
Well, so historically, the Iranian people have experienced a lot of damage from Russia, right? A lot historically, even before the Islamic Republic. So the Iranian people have a really, really bad experience. This is why so many Iranians are pro-Ukraine, because the fight between Iran and Russia goes back, the Soviet Union goes back a long time. So this has, even before any of this happened, the Iranian people were already justifiably biased against anything that comes out of Russia. But Ali is correct to want to adjust this to anti-Putin instead of saying anti-Russia, because obviously we don't want to be against an entire group of people. Especially given that many people there on our side as well against Putin. There are people there that will support our cause, and they're also anti-Putin. And also because we expect the rest of the world to separate Iranian people from the Islamic Republic. So it's only the right thing to do for us to also do the same thing and separate Putin from all Russian people.
The more that Russia loses this war, the greater the chances of us to get back our Caspian Sea rights in the future, which is going to be incredibly difficult. It's going to be signed into international law. Once that's happened, it's not impossible, but almost impossible to get it back. But we will get it back from the Iranian people perspective. So Ukraine, where did I put that note there? Did I name it something else or?
Slava Ukraine, by the way.
Huh. Oh, I guess it just deleted. Okay, well, I'll just tell you what I remember from memory, unless that's the one. Yes, there it is. Okay, so Saeed Ghassanejad and Navid Mohebi wrote an article about Ukraine and its relation to the Islamic Republic, and I took some notes from it so I could share it with you guys, and it got posted on the Kiev Post. So the Arabs, the Persian Gulf Arab countries, are scared of the Islamic Republic because of one thing. They're scared because their infrastructure, oil, electricity, water, plants will get hit. Vice versa, Ukraine isn't afraid of that. Its electrical grid has already been bombed, its infrastructure has already been largely destroyed, and its people in Ukraine fight for their survival daily. Ukraine is not held back by anything other than the political will of the Ukrainian people of, oh my God, Zelensky is going to drag us into a war with Iran. Well, it's unnecessary. That is the only thing holding Kiev back. And if we take a look at the hardening of the Ukrainian people, we can see it's not impossible for Zelensky to join in on any sort of operation that may occur. Now, what would that look like? On the southern coast of Iran in the Persian Gulf, the Americans conduct a blockade. The Caspian Sea, as a result, has become more important. It's the only body of water that the Islamic Republic can do trade with now. It goes into Central Asia, like Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan. Those all have a border on the Caspian Sea, and then goes into Russia. So if Ukraine enters and starts contesting shipping from Iran to Russia or Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, then the Islamic Republic is completely pincered. That's it. It's game over in terms of shipping. I wouldn't say global shipping. I would say water shipping becomes multiple times more difficult. We do know that the ships are going back and forth constantly from Bandar Anzaliya in the north of Iran to Russia and other countries. Now, if you just remove that, that could be a possible thing that we see coming up this week when the United States says that there will be measures implemented against Iran that no one has seen before economically. It doesn't necessarily mean the United States itself is going to be implementing all of them. They did have meetings with Israel and Ukraine. They've been talking with other countries like Armenia, Azerbaijan. We could see a wider economic isolation because that's what's required. The country of Iran shares a border with what, Armin, 14, 16, 18 different countries. It's quite difficult to completely economically isolate them until, actually, let me just count that. Let's take a look together, guys. It's quite difficult to economically isolate them if you don't have a couple more partners here. So we got Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey, Iraq, Kuwait. Actually, does it kind of share? Nah, not really. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Turkmenistan 5. Afghanistan 6. Pakistan 7. Oh, it's okay. Well, thought it was a lot more for some reason. You're probably going to have some people here join in, and obviously I don't think anyone on the eastern side is going to join in. Pakistan is deeply tied to the IRGC economically. Afghanistan, why? Turkmenistan, they're a dictatorship. They got their own human rights issues. They kill and murder people all the time. They got no incentive for Iran to become strong here. They sell weapons to the IRGC and have been for months now. That leaves us with a couple other options. Iraq, not really possible. They got their problems of their own. In fact, they don't have full sovereignty over their country right now anyway. Turkey, I don't really see it, but what we do see is that they're building concrete walls. So far, they've built about 6 kilometers in this region in the key passes here. They're trying to prevent any sort of spillage of Iranians into Turkey come the next war. Armenia, Azerbaijan, I'm not quite sure. They're kind of caught in between a couple of different powers here, like Russia and the Islamic Republic, and to play both sides. One of these people are going to have to step up to the plate, in my opinion. It'll be interesting to see who, but Ukraine can. Ukraine can just simply strike those trucks like it did. They can strike the ships like they did. Not too difficult. So, let's get... quick piece of news for you guys. Saudi Arabia is still getting pounded. Its militias are still getting destroyed. They actually incurred mass casualties today in the port of Mocha here. They took yesterday it took like 40 drones in different waves and a couple ballistic missiles. Had about the same happen to them today. Another dozen or 20 or so of the Saudi militias perished once again. The Houthis themselves, though, are being fought and contested across Yemen at this point as well. So Yemen is pretty much in a completely open civil war between the Yemeni government, which is here in Aden, and the Houthis, which are based in Sana'a, which is a larger city. Let's see. If Saudi Arabia can successfully diminish the Houthi threat, it's a big if for them. They weren't able to do it on their own ever. It's going to be a big question. So, oh, and then Armin, do you remember how we took a look off the coast of Sri Lanka and we said that there was those 14 IRGC tankers? If those tankers start moving back towards Iran, we know that something changed. Not for the better, by the way. If they start heading back to Iran, that means there's some sort of deal or safety for the Islamic Republic that allows them to get their refueling tankers back into the Strait of Hormuz. But in the meantime, we are seeing that more and more oil tankers are being added onto this list. So now we have 18, another 4 got added on top of that. They're just sitting there anchored. They don't know what to do. If we see these ships moving back to Iran, that's an indicator that in the next week or two, you're going to hear some sort of deal going on. If they stay here, that means that they're scared war is going to happen. We're going to use this as a little indicator here to predict the future. And before we go back into Iran, there was a quite unfortunate event that happened in Israel last night. So the IDF did incur some casualties last night. The IDF attempted to capture this area, so near the Nabatea, about Ali Taher Ridge is somewhere that's deeply contested, and it's actually very important. It could draw the Islamic Republic back into war. What they did last night was they attempted to capture the heights, the whole thing. They went for it in one fell swoop. They had Israeli commandos go in. They had heavy airstrikes. They had artillery, tanks rolled in, armored vehicles, all these soldiers. And it looks like they actually failed and were repelled by Hezbollah, who were putting up a fierce fight there. So there are Israeli casualties at the moment that have been released. And the Islamic Republic did state 2 days ago that if Israel does attack Ali Taher Ridge, the Islamic Republic will get involved. That's the first time we've heard about that in a couple of months. They actually backed off of saying things like that, but now it looks like it's back. As we're telling you, the Islamic Republic is happy to go back to war. So that's a piece of unfortunate news. Let me see if I can get a little bit. I think I put another one here as well. Okay, yes. So according to the field reports by the IDF, Israeli special forces moved to infiltrate an underground fortification in an armored vehicle. Their armored vehicle was struck by an RPG, and there are casualties. So as a result, the Israeli army went all out. They launched several raids into the area, artillery, airstrikes, etc., to be able to recover these commandos. We'll hear more about that soon. Netanyahu did make a statement today to stand up to terrorism, and we'll see about that very soon. So let's do it. Let's get into Iran here and what's happening. You want to show us the Khamenei burial chant? Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention to this clip.
Okay, guys, the context. This is at the shrine. This is at a shrine in Mashhad, in the province of Khorasan, in northeast Iran. This is a shrine of Imam Reza, the 8th, Imam number 8 of Shia Islam. This is also where Ali Khamenei is being buried, has been buried. I will translate this for you guys, and I want you guys to tell me what your first impression of this is in the chat. Remember, this is inside Iran in one of the most religious places in Iran. Okay, it's only 30 seconds. Okay, let me play this. So there's a guy chanting "Death to Israel." Pretty normal, right? Then he said "Death to America," and the security was like, "Shh, no, shh, no, death to America, no." Okay. So he's saying, why can't I say death to America? Like, don't, only salavat. Okay. Like, who says I can't say death to America? What fatwa? What marja? What religious authority has said that I can't say death to America? So like, don't argue with me. Don't argue with me. Just don't say death to America. So he started shouting, "Trump the bastard!" And then they surrounded him, like they're silencing him. He's because he said he can't say death to America, so he started swearing at Trump, and then they attacked him. Like, no, don't say that. You have to respect the Quran. They're reading the Quran. Stop saying that. And then he said, "They killed our," and then he got cut. So what he was about to say is that I can't even insult the people who killed our supreme leader. So what's happening, guys? This is at the burial, right next to where they buried Khamenei. You cannot even chant against the person. Forget spilling the blood of the people who killed Ali Khamenei. You are not even allowed to chant against them next to where he has been buried. So think about this, Ali. We are in a situation where you can swear at Trump in America, but jihadis are stopping you from insulting Trump in Iran. Jihad, guys, in America, everybody has the freedom to swear at Trump, but in a Shia shrine inside Iran, jihadis are silencing you when you try to insult Trump, not letting you do that.
When I saw that, I wanted to ask you, why?
Why? Okay, well, why not? because
why are you telling him then?
Okay, here I think I have the best answer in the chat. Okay, hold on. Where is it? I should have started. Where is it? Fine stress. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's I'm not gonna read that. You can just see it on the screen. Oh yes, exactly. That's fine stars. It has the best answer. Because this shows the influence of Ghalibaf. They're trying to remember one of President Trump's conditions for any sort of deal is that you stop insulting America. You stop attacking America. You stop showing aggression towards America. So
interesting.
But this is gonna backfire.
Yeah.
Like this, guys, on the Persian channel, I looked at the camera and told the jihadis, like, do you need any more evidence that you have been taken over, that the Islamic Republic is not Islamic anymore, that your government, that they have infiltrated, the Americans have infiltrated inside your government? The jihadis need to rise up against the Islamic Republic, because it's not Islamic anymore. You are living under an American government right now. They're inside the house. They're in. You know what I said on the Persian show, and this is me in my, I'm just talking their language, right? I said the Jews have taken over, and God has done you a favor, because God has watched you for the past couple of decades saying that you're going to go and fight for the Palestinians against the Jews. But you just chanted that and didn't do anything. You kept on saying it. You had the opportunity to go fight against the tyranny of Zionism, and you did nothing. And God was waiting for you to participate, to come and fight for the Palestinians, for the poor Palestinians. And because God was waiting and waiting and waiting, and you didn't do anything, God made it easy for you. You didn't go to the Jews. God brought the Jews to you. God made the Jews take over your government and rule over you. So if you wanted to fight Zionism and Americans, they are now inside the house. They're right next to you. God is sending you the signal that I have been waiting for you, and you didn't come to me, so I came to you. I brought the enemy right next to you. The reason why the Americans and Israelis are ruling over you is because you didn't fight them in Palestine. So now they're right at home next to you. Are you still going to refuse to fight? Rise up. If you care about Islam, rise up against the regime. Does it get any more clear that this is not Islamic anymore? And this is a American and Zionist regime? Rise up and take your regime back. Take the Islamic government back. Bring back Islam, because this is not Islam. So this is
where they buried Khamenei.
Yes. Guys,
So
we get attacked inside Iran by jihadis if you insult Trump. Guys, remember this. Yeah, where Khamenei is buried. So, like, oh yeah, but the Islamic Republic is winning. The Islamic Republic is winning, apparently, and the United States is losing. We're in a situation where jihadis will attack you right next to where Khamenei is buried if you insult Trump. Okay. Right? Oh my
So the
God.
people who killed the supreme leader, if you insult them, yeah, that's going to go around the rounds of the IRGC, of the, the Telegram channels of the regime supporters, hopefully. It'll be censored as well, but it's going to do some tricks. One thing that happened during the war was that Bahrain was struck a few times. Well, it turns out the extent of damages were actually a little bit worse, Armin. So this explains why the USS Abraham Lincoln hasn't been resupplied as much. So when they struck in Bahrain, I think it's like the base is over here. This was actually a logistics port for the United States military, like CENTCOM as a whole. It's right there. And that's why the USS Abraham Lincoln, particularly because the Strait of Hormuz is kind of in the way, wasn't really resupplied as much. So it actually had to get its resources from, boom, Diego Garcia, all the way over here, about 4,000 kilometers away. This is the report that was given to us recently. So unfortunately, it's quite a distance from the USS Abraham Lincoln, and that's why so many difficulties were faced by them. Looks like that wasn't done on accident. Armin, isn't it? It makes complete sense for the IRGC to strike logistical hubs, increase the cost of operations for the United States. It's their whole strategy, isn't it? Make it more expensive for the US politically and economically to do this.
Yes, exactly. Also, they're just trying to get the United States to just fight already. Like, come on, fight. This is unfair, right? So they're just poking so that they could start a fight, right? Isn't this also that?
It is.
Start a war.
They attacked our United States Army base in Erbil 2 days ago. aimed for the barracks in particular. No one was in it at the time. The buildings hurt and destroyed, but if soldiers were in it, we would have heard more U.S. casualties. They're poking. They're stabbing. But here's the thing. I mean, is this it? Is this their strategy? Just put everything on the midterms? Is that really it? Or do you think they have plans for afterwards as well?
Well, I mean, so yeah, I think they're investing a lot on the midterms. I don't know if that makes sense though, because after the midterms, President Trump have a 2-month period. Even if the midterms goes badly for Trump, there's a 2-month period where there is no military. There is no. It's still the same Congress, and President Trump doesn't have to worry about anyone's vote anymore. So that would be the most two. Those are 2 months of Trump that are completely unleashed, the most unleashed version of Trump, right?
Yeah.
So,
I just don't think that Donald Trump would give up either way because he can't. Whether he lost the midterms or not, he cannot afford to let the Islamic Republic survive his term. By the end of this 2 years, he has to finish him off.
also, they might be overestimating how limited. I mean, I don't know. I have to look into this, but they might be overestimating how limited President Trump will be, even if the midterms go badly.
Correct. The fact that Donald Trump doesn't really seem to be worried about the midterms, he is endorsing a lot of candidates, but you could see an upset. You could see him release a bunch of documents and leaked emails from Democrats. You could see a lot of different things happen. You could even see strikes from now until 2.5 months later, until the midterms. That would give enough time for him to secure some sort of victory as well. There's a lot of room here to maneuver, and he's not someone who likes to seem desperate to do something. I do have a theory, though. Donald Trump is a destroyer. He took the world order, especially in his first term, all he did was disrupt on purpose. He wanted to disrupt the order that was there before. Why are we as the US paying for the Europeans, and why are we letting these people ride off of us, and the Somalians, and this and that? And so fast forward here, got the borders closed. He's doing a lot of different, quite radical, quote unquote, changes according to some Democrats. Nothing has quite been the same. I think the world was a little bit under the same under Biden, perhaps even under Obama, but during Donald Trump's administrations, it's been quite different, and things are being rewritten pretty fast. So he's using the Islamic Republic, in my opinion, as the boogeyman to incite this change. My question is he using this to change just the Middle East, or is he using this to change the world? Because he can do either one. There's a risk, obviously, associated with both, and there's a bigger risk associated with changing the world status quo to make them more reliant on the US, the center of everything. It's going to be quite more risky. But for the Middle East, it's quite clear. It's quite clear that he's doing that at least to the Middle East at the moment. Otherwise, been saying this, the US has the power to destroy the IRGC a couple weeks if it wants to. It'll all be over. It could have been over in March.
Yeah. The destroying part is not the difficult part. The managing of what comes after the destruction is what a lot of people have an issue with, on how to manage that.
Absolutely. Guys, in some other news, the United Arab Emirates is now buying more and more and more from the United States of America. They just delivered Lockheed Martin another massive contract. This contract's total value is $1.05 billion. So $1 billion, let's just say that one pretty much. They're going to buy multiple new THAAD launchers, and these are set to be produced and delivered throughout 2031, so 5 years from now. And today they just slapped on another $211 million on top of that. So the threshold for this contract is now over $1 billion worth of missile interceptors being bought by the UAE. Everyone seems to be gearing up for a longer term conflict 5 years down the road. To get these delivered means the Islamic Republic is well and done and dusted. It's over with. But is there going to be perhaps a world war? Is the United Arab Emirates going to perhaps fear a new and free Iran, or even a Turkey, or maybe a couple other countries, maybe Saudi Arabia? Who knows? Most countries around the world are seemingly gearing up for something big. In addition to that, we also told you guys another ship was hit. So this brings the grand total of ships hit in the last 2 days up to 4. This is just the poking and prodding from the Islamic Republic. So one got hit last night. I'm pretty sure another one got hit a couple hours ago, because the IRGC did fire 3 more ballistic missiles or cruise missiles into the Strait of Hormuz again. Yeah, the average is actually about 1 a day. It used to be 1 every 4 days, then 1 every 3. Now it's about 1 to 1. Yikes. I wonder if this ship was a UAE ship, because all 4 of them in the last couple of days would be all UAE ships if that's the case. And please, if anyone from the United Arab Emirates government is perhaps watching this stream, if you're one of the couple hundred, please stop making deals with these people. As soon as you stop, they're going to start hitting you. And then you can't come out and quote unquote strongly condemn the Islamic Republic. Like, are you serious?
It's pathetic.
But don't worry, guys, because the foreign ministry spokesperson of the Islamic Republic is saying that negotiations are going exceptionally well, and we're actually very close to making a deal, just not with the US. We're close to making a deal with Oman. Yeah. All right, then. Doesn't matter what this guy says. I think we got the appointments in the IRGC command down for you guys in the last couple of days. You guys should know who they are. You guys should know how all of them are appointed to go to war. None of them are really here to negotiate. In fact, Ghalibaf and the negotiation teams have fallen down from power, not because anyone dragged them down, but because by comparison, they are weaker now. Ghalibaf himself came out today, Armin. He said something like, what was it? Do you have that clip? He said like, it was because of me. It's because of me that we did the negotiations, and it was me. I did it. But now, because the supreme leader says so, we need to be ready to go back to war.
Yes, he even compared himself to Qasem Soleimani. He kept on bragging about everything he has done and everything that he has forced President Trump to do. And honestly, I think that was really bad strategy. Usually he's smart. This is gonna, like, he doesn't know Ghalibaf doesn't understand the jihadis like I do, because I know exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna hate him so much. He did the propaganda video, tried to defend himself, and everything he said is going to make the jihadi people hate him so much more. It was such a bad propaganda video. I was mentioning at the Persian show, like Ghalibaf, I know you watch my shows. I'm kidding. Obviously, what are you doing? First of all, you shouldn't be defending yourself. You shouldn't be talking about yourself. You should be paying other people to talk about you like this. You shouldn't be saying this yourself. This is going to backfire. And what are you doing comparing yourself to Qasem Soleimani and praising yourself in comparison to him? Are you kidding me? This is horrible. Like, that was really bad. You know, I think Ghalibaf does well when he just gets other people to do propaganda for him. But when he opens his mouth, he ruins it. There's so many different clips that came out of that I know by tomorrow we're going to have the jihadi IRGC people clip those parts and use it against them, and I know exactly what they're going to say. I could write the script for them if they want. Like, I know exactly what the jihadi people are going to say. And he just gave them so much ammunition to fight back against him. I don't know, he's not doing very well. Ghalibaf, you should listen more to me. I don't know. Maybe it's my fault because I've been focusing on telling the jihadi people what to do. I forgot to also keep giving advice to Ghalibaf, and that's why he's slipping.
He knows what to do to try to get up to the top, but once he's near the top, he's like, well, I didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah.
So it's not looking too good for the Islamic Republic on economic fronts. Everything that you see them coming out and saying, for president, speaker of the parliament, the generals, everything is two topics. First topic, we're getting effed over economically. We got to start helping ourselves. And the second topic is the Americans are evil and we need to fight them. We will never stop fighting the Americans. They don't directly say we are going to war. They say we need to fight, we need to resist against the Americans. And at the same time, they keep hitting ships. They keep striking American bases. Now they're starting to issue threats to Israel. If you attack Hezbollah here, we'll get involved.
They're getting so desperate. They're getting so desperate for war. Guys, the Islamic Republic really wants a war back to start again. And they're not getting it. The Americans are showing restraint. And I'm like, nope, we're good. We're good. We're just sitting here watching you suffocate under this economic pressure that we have created for you. It's not, we're comfortable here. And the Islamic Republic is like, please, this is so much more painful. This is so much more painful than explosions and missiles. We want to go back to war. So they might get so desperate. They're like, Israel. They're going to call Israel. Okay? The Islamic Republic, like, wasn't it more fun when we were throwing missiles at each other? Can we go back to that? United States is not like us, okay? You want to throw missiles, we want to throw missiles. This is boring, okay? So the Islamic Republic, even though they're so scared of Israel, right now they're so desperate for war that they might send an invitation to Israel to get back in on it. Like, they might do that. That's how desperate they are. Risking their own lives with Israeli missiles because this is more painful.
I think the last time that Donald Trump wanted to strike was real, but I think the thing that stopped him wasn't or maybe it part was the Arabs, but it was also Scotty B came up to his office and gave him a report and said, look, they really want us to go back to war, by the way. And Donald Trump was like, oh, I'm not going to give my opponent what he wants. You know what? Continue the blockade, Scotty B. Just keep doing this. They want us to strike them. They'll be able to unite. They'll be able to consolidate. Why don't we let them fracture even more? We have, by the way, guys, I told you that yesterday was the day. So special couple of days, actually. Yesterday, I thought was the day that the 60-day ceasefire or MOU negotiation period was supposed to end. It's supposed to be the 17th. So it's supposed to be Monday, according to the U.S. administration. Monday is when the 60-day period stops. Before the 60-day period, we had full-on war. We had kind of full-on war during the negotiations as well. But we're entering a period of time where legislatively in the American side, there's nothing going on. You can go back to war or etc. And then today is actually, Armin, 100 days that I've started streaming.
Wow. Guys,
Yeah.
100 days. Congratulations.
I think we did pretty well.
Guys, you did amazing. 100 days, guys.
100.
Congratulations. Guys, remember, we're trying to get Ali to how many subscribers before your birthday?
10,000. We're at
10,000.
5.3, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. So It sucks that the 100-day of my streaming couldn't line up with the end of the 60-day negotiating period. I should have lined that up better, but I think that's why that you're hearing this coming week. Scotty, let's just stop calling him that. Scott Bessent is saying we're going to introduce new measures of economic isolation. It's over. The 60-day period is over. We can go back to full-on warfare. Full-on warfare might just look a bit more economic than it already does. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rappaport. Thank you, S. Carter. Thank you, Fun
Yes.
Sun, Dominic, Ari, Sarah, Leo. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you all so much. Pagan Lord, Finestras, Ishi Garza,
Fine starts.
all of you guys, West Downer. Thank you guys. Bill Kennedy. Sorry if I missed anyone. By the way, every single one of you guys who watch and comment or send super chats, whatever, when I can see you guys and I see a piece of information about you guys, I actually never forget it. So
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
there we go. Someone wants my line and sun flag behind me. Okay, Tractor. Yeah, maybe I should bring it up.
You need to get like a
We'll have that.
way to make it stable. I guess.
Oh my God, look. Oh, it almost lined up.
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
Okay. It's gonna fall.
I have it on a PVC pipe because I used to take it to the protests. Like, let me check the news here. I actually haven't checked the news for like 30 minutes. All right, so the IDF is launching.
For the past 100 days, Ali has been checking the news once every 30 minutes, both on stream and off stream, just waiting for something big to happen for the Islamic Republic to fall. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
There was a point in the war where I could see every single neighborhood that they struck in Tehran, for example. Okay, let me share this with you guys. This is what the IDF is up to at the moment. These are what the strikes are looking like in southern Lebanon. Let's play this 15-second clip. All right, let's put this from the beginning. Okay. So the IDF is going out. They're going all out with fury tonight. They have special operations going on. They got phosphorus in the sky. They got attack drones. Couple of different brigades, phosphorus artillery shelling. So the Islamic Republic warned the IDF, if you attack this area, we will attack you once again. The IDF said, F you, and conducted the second night in a row of major strikes on southern Lebanon. These are quite different than the past couple of weeks. These are much more intense, many more troops involved. And it looks like the chairman of the National Security Committee of the Islamic Republic Parliament, Ebrahim Azizi, just put out an X post saying the United States president ought to worry about his own security rather than his endless bluffing regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Things like that have never changed. Okay. And again, please, guys, take every single threat that the Islamic Republic does or says seriously. CENTCOM also posted this. They said, our commander, Brad Cooper, just completed a 10-day trip across the Middle East, and they highlighted all the different countries that they visited. So Israel, Jordan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain. Okay, so they didn't visit Kuwait. They didn't visit Qatar. Is there anything in here? Nope. All right. That's about it. Well, might as well just play this for you guys then. All right. Let's not forget that Brad Cooper does have this plan that he's hatched up for the Islamic Republic to go all out, full force attacking. That plan is still on the table. That is exactly the plan, I believe, that Donald Trump has on his desk and has not signed yet on purpose, because he sees that it's hurting the Islamic Republic more to just suffocate them. This is going to be a very important week. When we find out what the Treasury does to the Islamic Republic's bank accounts or economic isolation, I think we can figure out a couple of things, which is namely, are we speeding up the process of the fall of the Islamic Republic, or are we going to contain them? Are we accelerating, or are we maintaining? That, oh, oops, that was paused. Cool. Just check again. Anything else that I might have missed? I hope the Israelis are safe tonight. All right. Yeah.
Every other night.
And what?
Is that and every other night?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Some of the sailors have shirts that they say FA-15. Like they say the aircraft that they're a pilot of. That's pretty cool. I always think it's so amazing to me how the U.S. military just grabs a bunch of like 18-year-olds and just forges them from like the troublemakers that they are into rule-abiding cogs of the military, and just makes this great force with them. You know, never before in history was that possible to this extent, to this scale. All right. So okay. Let me check this real quick. Let me have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Armin, was there anything from today that happened that was like significant in your opinion? Anything that we might have missed? Just want to make sure we cover everything.
Well, the most interesting thing was the Islamic Republic pilots that were arrested by the Qatar, and for all this time, and the Islamic Republic not knowing about it until now.
During the war in March, several IRGC pilots conducted an operation. Qatar shot them down. The pilots were severely injured and captured, and they have had treatment since then. But Qatar kept them this entire time, and no one knew.
The Islamic Republic didn't know that Qatar is holding some of his pilots. And now that they found out, they went and like, okay, we need our pilots back. And the Qatar is telling the Islamic Republic, no, we're going to keep them. And the Islamic Republic went and complained to the Red Cross that Qatar is not giving us our pilots. The pilots that they didn't know Qatar was holding on for all this time.
No.
Since March.
How could they do such a thing?
Yeah.
Red Cross, United Nations, please. Somebody help us.
Yes. So
we went to strike their electrical plants.
Let me summarize this one more time, okay? Qatar has been helping the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic has been thanking Qatar by throwing missiles at Qatar during this time. In March, some of the Islamic Republic's fighter jets were shot down. The pilots were arrested by Qataris. The Islamic Republic didn't know that Qatar has them. And then recently they just found that some of its pilots have been arrested by Qatar and being held there all this time. They told the Qataris, release them back to us. Qatar said no. and the Islamic Republic is now going to the Red Cross trying to get the pilots back. This is weird.
Pathetic. Wait, Muslims fighting other Muslims is so strange, guys. Anyway, we have alligrams coming up. So today, well, alligrams is a section where I go in and I grab the IRGC supporters' messages and what they're thinking so we can get a clear idea of what the regime supporters in Iran are thinking and saying at the moment. But today, there's more and continued talk of uprisings. So we've got a couple of those for you today. Our first one here is by this person with an edgy profile picture, and they say, little bit off here, a little bit off. Here's what I'll do. I'll pop this over into Google so we don't have to force Armin to read all of this for us. All right.
I can read it.
Are you sure? It's a bit long. If you want to, yeah.
تصمیم بدون کارشناسی که فقط داره. Oh my God, I know what they're gonna say. قشر ضعیف جامعه هدف قرار میده. تنها گروه جامعه که پای نظام رو Are you kidding me? اگه دولت قصدش از بین بردن و نابود کردن این مردم اشکال نداره انجام بده. ولی بدون اصلاح آشورایی تو راهه. Oh, Ali, you need to send me this. This is gold. Go a little bit lower. تمام روی تمام خائنین تمام به این نظام و مردم و انقلاب به سزای اعمال خیانت بارشون میرسن. با گرون کردن بنزین فقط زمانشون زودتر میشه. Oh my God. این بار طرف حساب مردم مبسوط شدن. Okay. Wow, I could talk about this for hours. I don't even know where to start. Yeah, okay, so let me just translate it. Thank you. So let's go all the way to okay. So guys, this is a jihadi person in Iran, right? And I'm gonna try to translate it without shouting at the screen. Okay, he's saying the decision that the government has made without having the knowledge of doing so is only hurting the weaker part of the society. The society is being hurt, but the poor, the weaker part of the society, the part of society that supports the regime. So let me tell you what he's saying. He's saying that the decision to increase fuel prices by the government is not hurting the anti-regime people. It's only hurting the pro-regime people, the people who have been supporting the regime all of this time. Is hurting them. Okay. Say if the government, so this is a jihadi person against the government, right? Saying if the government was trying to destroy the people, that's okay. But they must know that there's a reform coming, an Ashura'i reform, meaning a Hussein type reform, meaning a jihadi uprising. He's saying a jihadi uprising is coming against the government. Islah Ashura'i means a jihadi uprising against the government. This is the double uprising I've been promising you about for the past 8 years. All of the traitors of the regime, meaning the people within the Islamic Republic who betrayed the people and the Islamic Revolution, they will all be punished. They will all be paying the price for treason, for betraying us. By increasing the price of fuel, oh my God, they're going to just bring that closer. This time, they have to be answerable to us, basically to the jihadi people, that they're doing this to us. So
if you guys thought that $5 a gallon was a lot in the United States, these guys are saying all of this over 60 cents, 70 cents a gallon. And it's not even $1 yet. These regime supporters are so angry at their own government. These gas prices are acting as a catalyst, and they're saying, we, the Durkas of the Islamic Republic, are going to wage jihad against the Islamic Republic to clean away the segment of it that we hate. And these gas prices are actually just speeding things up. Keep on raising the price of gas. See what we're going to do.
this is everything we have been telling you in one post. So let me explain line by line. Okay. So first of all, guys, this shows that unlike what they have been telling us for the past few decades, the jihadis also cry and feel pain with economic hardship. They called us, more secular Iranians, they called us life lovers, weak and pathetic, those who think of this world rather than afterlife. They said that we love death more than you love life to us, saying that they're resilient. They don't care about the things of this world. And they could go to war with the enemies of Islam and pay the highest price, including their own lives. Economic hardship be damned. We will die for Islam. But now, when they're increasing the price of fuel in Iran, they're crying and they're like, we're gonna do an uprising against the government if you do this. The jihadi ones.
So weird.
Also, these idiots don't understand. So, guys, in Iran, when people say the government, they're not talking about the entire regime. In Iran, when they say the government, they're talking about the executive branch. They're talking about the president and his cabinet. The way that these people see it is that fuel prices are going up because Pezeshkian has decided to do so as a way to punish them, as a way to bring an uprising, as a way to wage war against their people. It's just a decision that he could just easily not do. They don't realize that the war that these people have been asking for is the reason why fuel prices have to go up, because fuel prices have been heavily subsidized in Iran. They're at 11 cents a gallon, and it's going to go to, I don't know, 70 cents a gallon now because of this, probably something like that, right?
And there's a couple really good ones like this.
But
this
let me finish this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I know you want to. I know you want to move on, but this is important, right? Yeah. Okay. So they are trying to blame Pezeshkian because Ghalibaf people are trying to blame, because it's better to blame mismanagement by the regime, by the government, by Pezeshkian, rather than admitting that they have lost to Americans, right? Because think about it. Most governments will, if you would think that the defenders of the Islamic Republic, the leftist defenders of the Islamic Republic outside of Iran, they say that this is because of America and Israel, not because of mismanagement. But inside Iran, the jihadis are saying this is because of mismanagement, not because of war with Israel and the United States. The reason why they want to do that is because blaming the government means that blaming the reformers, the Pezeshkian. But if you blame America and Israel, that's an admission that we lost against Americans and Israelis, because you were supposed to bring economic hardship to Americans. They weren't supposed to be able to bring economic hardship to you unless you could pretend that you don't care about economic hardship. But now that it's too painful, everybody is crying out, and you also are crying out that this is hard, but you can't say that this is because of Americans and Israelis, because if you do so, then you're saying that the Americans and Israelis are actually winning this war, and you cannot do that. So you have to blame Pezeshkian, but whoever you blame, at the end of the day, they can't tolerate this. Neither our side or their side they can't tolerate this. Guys, remember, if fuel prices are heavily subsidized so that they are 11 cents a gallon, that means everything else. That means that the government has robbed your wealth from everywhere else to give you subsidies on fuel prices so that you create dependency on fuel prices. But that means that everyone's lives and everyone's businesses relies on gasoline being 11 cents a gallon. That means if you go from 11 to 70 cents per gallon, everything will break apart. People cannot, there's no way to adjust to that, right? So you might think like, oh, 70 cents is also very cheap. It's not cheap if everything runs on 11 cents. That would be like in US, if you go from $4 per gallon to $40 per gallon. If everything is built on, if everything is functioning on $4 a gallon, imagine jumping to 40. That's what the change looks like. Let me know if that makes sense.
That's a really good comparison. Right. That's, yeah. 11 cents a gallon might not seem a lot to you guys, but as Armin's saying, if the entire economy is adjusted to the price of 11 cents a gallon to run trucks and businesses and everything, now we suddenly jump up to 60, 70, 80 cents, a dollar. Ooh. And right. You can't import more gasoline, can you? Nope, you can't. Let's see what the next person says. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Hold on. Yeah, so I know you're joking, but I'm going to use this as an opportunity to respond to this. I know you don't mean it, right? So High Turban is saying, geez, I only wish gas was 60 cents per gallon here in the US. No, you do not, okay? I know you don't mean it as a joke, but I'm going to use it. You do not want that. You do not want that, because the only way gas is 60 cents per gallon means that it's subsidized. If it's subsidized, that means it's been taken away from you somewhere else, and most of it is not being given back to you. So if your gas prices are that heavily subsidized, that means that somebody took your wealth from you somewhere else and is giving to you a fraction of it back in the form of subsidies. So you do not want that. But yes, continue.
People have been saying this left, right, and center. More people are saying, okay, now the Islamic Republic is trying to scare us with 90 toman gasoline. So that's like $1 a gallon-ish equivalent. And in the end, so they're going to scare us by saying that we're going to jack the prices up 10 times, but in reality, they'll jack the prices up 5 times so that the people think, oh, phew. Oh, at least it's not 10 times. And he's saying, if gasoline even becomes 1,000 toman more expensive, like a few times more expensive, this government, the Pezeshkian government, must be overthrown. In fact, their spokesperson of Pezeshkian came out and said this way back when, and then boom, see what happened. The protests of 8th and 9th of January occurred right afterwards. This is something that we know. I mean, this is not the first time that gasoline prices are going to cause an uprising. These people have this fresh on their mind. These regime supporters especially have it fresh on their minds because they're scared the most when an uprising happens.
Ali sent this to me as well because they think this is on purpose. They think Pezeshkian created the economic conditions for people to do an uprising in early January so that he could get the Americans and Israelis to kill Ali Khamenei and Mujtaba Khamenei. And now that Mujtaba Khamenei is alive, he's increasing fuel prices again so that there could be another uprising. So this time they could finish the job with Mujtaba Khamenei. They think Pezeshkian is doing this on purpose to get Mujtaba Khamenei killed. That's what they think. Not that there is no revenue. They don't think like maybe it's because we don't have oil revenue to continue subsidizing and because there is not enough fuel to go around. So the prices do not match the level of supply that we have in the market. They don't know that. They're like, no, Pezeshkian is a Zionist trying to create the conditions for an uprising to kill Mujtaba.
They're too stupid to realize that. It's never going to happen. And then look at what this person says as well. Here's the Farsi version of it, and then we'll translate that for you guys. So, someone said Pezeshkian should resign. You know, he's useless. He should resign. And this person says, what's your point? Do you think these idiots are going to do anything for their own people? None of them are Iranians. They've already spent so much money on Iraq and Lebanon, you don't even have to argue about it. It's clear. Enjoy the fruits of their labor. You stupid people still have to realize and grow some things, so be patient. Do you think these idiots are going to do anything for their own people? What they're saying is, if someone says, oh, Pezeshkian should resign, and someone says that doesn't make a difference, what's your point? It means that it doesn't matter who's the president. It's the entire institution that's a problem here. Again, more and more regime supporters waking up to stark realities. And check this one out. This person is attempting to make an economic argument that we can rip apart pretty easily here. They said if they make, and look at the profile picture, I think it all makes sense. If they make gas more expensive, then they're going to have to subsidize public transportation vehicles and people who drive Uber, for example. Okay, so you'll have to pay these people like 3 million toman in subsidies. You have to give them a ration card for fuel to all Iranians. And only then will it be acceptable for you to raise the price of gas. On a scale of stupidity, I think this is pretty much a 10. If you make gas more expensive, first of all, this guy's assuming that they're doing it on purpose. They're not. There is no gas. They have to make it more expensive. And if they did, where are they going to get the money to subsidize other things? Why do you think they're unsubsidizing gasoline? If they had the money, they would keep it subsidized. They don't have it. How are they going to get money from somewhere? The government gets $110 billion of revenue a year. Most of that is oil revenue. There is no oil revenue. Where is it going to come from? When we tell you guys that these regime supporters are stupid, they don't understand the basic economics of why things are happening in the country. They look at the leadership and just blame them. And that is why the politics of the Islamic Republic is the blame game. They designate people to take the blame every time something goes wrong. That is their plan from the get-go. And this one, let's take a look at what Amir Hossein Gholami says here. We'll have to censor that part. So, we could put that down. So, it's people like you who don't see the devaluation of the national currency, the emptying of the treasury of gold, and the increasing prices. But you guys still buy expensive gasoline. So as long as there's people like you, there should be someone like Pezeshkian. Let's put that back into Farsi. It'll just be better. Armin, can you not read the curse word here for us?
Okay. اولاغ امثال شماها هستین که کاهش ارزش پول ملی و خالی شدن خزانه از طلا و دلاری شدن قیمت‌ها رو نمی‌بینین و باز هم نسخه گرونی اونم بنزین میپیچین. تا امثال شما هستین باید هم اصلاحاتی و هم پزشکیان از گردن ملت سواری بکشه. احمقا. I don't see the curse word. Where's the curse word?
It was in the beginning. I don't know why it translated that into something else, but yeah.
Okay, so it's saying, you idiots. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what does it mean?
Go up. So it's saying, you idiots, idiots like you, who don't see the devaluation of our currency and the emptying of our reserves from gold and also the dollarization of the prices in the country. You don't see all of that. And then even when you see all of that, you decide to prescribe increasing fuel prices for us. As long as there are people like you like the reformers and Pezeshkian, the people like reformers and Pezeshkian, as that's a verification. So basically saying that you are using the people. You're basically taking advantage of us. As long as you are riding up on the people and using them, the reformers and Pezeshkian. So lower it a little bit. You idiots. So he's just basically saying that they're blaming everything on the reformers, thinking that, oh, you see all of these problems and you still decided to increase fuel prices. So he's calling other people idiots, but he's the idiot because he doesn't see that they don't have a choice. He doesn't see that he's the idiot. He and people like him did this. They brought war. They declared war against the world superpower. That's the consequences of the things that you stand for. He thinks Pezeshkian has a choice. Pezeshkian doesn't have a choice. There is no revenue. There is no fuel. The prices do not reflect the supply. What is he like? It's not his decision. This is being forced on him. You did this to Iran. You by saying death to America and death to Israel for the past 48 years. This is the consequences. On the Persian channel, I said this. I said when you were saying death to America, what you were actually saying death to was death to a full fridge. When you said death to America and death to Israel, what you were actually saying was death to a full fridge, death to the ability of me being able to pay for my kids' education, for my parents' health costs. That's what you're saying death to. And this is the result of that. You deserve this. The Iranians who weren't for waging war against the United States and Israel and the rest of the world, they don't deserve this. You brought this upon yourself, not Pezeshkian. You did this.
2 points. We told you guys months ago that if we divide the dwindling base of the regime supporters even further, that's the fastest way to overthrowing the Islamic Republic on the ideological level. A double uprising, coined by Armin, means that you can't govern a country if you don't have any support. It's already hard for them to govern or try to, be in power, let's just say it's a better term, when they have 95% of the population against them. Now let's just break apart that 5%, destroy them from the inside. Okay, it's working. We can see that. We can see that with allegrams, that these people are indeed thinking that way. They're just blaming each other all the time. But we also, another point, is that these people have tunnel vision themselves. They are genuinely stupid. You cannot take an old dog and teach them new tricks. These people are set in their ways for decades. Now that things are changing, all they do is, why is it changing? That person's changing it. Pezeshkian, the president's changing it. Get after him. Get him out of office. Ignore the fact that we, for 40 years, were saying, as Armin's saying, death to America, death to my full fridge. I brought this upon myself. Forget about that. These people all have tunnel vision. They're looking down a magnifying glass at this problem. And that's ultimately going to serve us. If they're so focused on just the problems and not the solution, and they can't work together for a solution, it's only a matter of time. So that was the Allegram section. Let's get into the super chats. Let's see what you guys say. And our first one is from Bill Kennedy saying, don't need 2 carrier groups for the blockade only, right? I think we conducted, you don't need it, no. You don't even need carriers to conduct the blockade.
You kind of do, because sometimes you need to attack certain ships, certain speedboats, but I think 1 carrier would be enough.
Thank you, Bill Kennedy. Looks like we're adding on to that number of 2 carrier groups. And our next one is Fizz Engicist saying, make sure to hit like and subscribe. True.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Fizz. And Tractor says, I persist on my prediction that the U.S. will use ground force.
Okay, well, I mean,
All right.
and if that happens, we will always remember that you predicted this. Ali,
Yes,
Ali
not
has a
us.
good memory on this thing. So we're going to
Yes.
come, and from every time we come into the chat, we will always introduce you as the person who saw this happening when the rest of us did not.
True. Thank you, Tractor.
Thank
I will
you.
remember that. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Nail Bunny, for the 5 gifted
Thank you.
memberships for Liberty Politics.
Thank you, Nail Bunny.
Appreciate you very much.
Always support.
And Nail Bunny also says, Payende Iran,
Woo!
Javid Shah. Like the stream.
Javid Shah, like the stream. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nail Bunny.
Thank
And
you.
boom, Jets with the 20 Liberty Politics memberships. Huge.
20.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Always very kind, always very supportive.
And our next one, James Moore says, my dinner club would really like to see a few FPVs show up. Someone in Iran needs an increase in kotlets. A few friendly Ukrainian favorite pilots should be at the table. Personally, I haven't eaten in days. I'm starving.
Oh my God.
James, your super chats are always so like discombobulating for my brain because I had to like tie them all together to get the picture of what you're saying. James Moore has a dinner club that he's made recently, and the menu is IRGC pretty much. So he would like to recruit some Ukrainians to be at the dinner table to cook with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all starving for some kotlets. It's been a while. We were being spoiled so much we didn't know how good we were having it.
Yeah.
Now we just can we just have one, two, one?
Remember
those days? Remember those days? Just one after the other, like, oh my God, those were the days. You just slept and you woke up and then poof, so many of them gone.
Thank you, James Moore. And our next one is from Nail Bunny, saying 291 watching, 124 likes. Please like the stream. Yeah,
Yes,
guys, please like the
thank
stream.
you.
And
Thank
please
you.
subscribe
Thank
to
you
our
everybody
channels.
Yes, subscribe, and also thank you to everybody who has liked already. And thank you to Nail Bunny and everybody else who's encouraging people to like the stream. I appreciate you guys. Yeah,
Thank you.
Lior in the chat is saying, Lior in the chat is saying we were eating cutlet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh my God, yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Good old days, yes.
And our next one is from Qalibov profile picture saying, so will announcing a government in exile stop the Caspian Sea deal? No.
No. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's going to be very, very difficult to get that back, even after the Islamic Republic falls. Because under international law, the government that was recognized by the international community to represent Iran signed off that deal. So internationally, it would be recognized as Iran signing it off. So even if we get a new government, it's going to be so hard to get it back.
Yep. Thank you, Ghalibov profile picture. And our next one is from Nail Bunny saying the U.S. has detained the family of Screaming Mary. Screaming Mary is the lady, one of the ringleaders, if I remember correctly, who stormed the U.S. embassy in Tehran, took some Americans hostage.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. Is that what they call her? Screaming Mary. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
she
good.
was like screaming, and she had her black garb. Yeah. I wonder why her family was in the U.S. It's so strange, to be so anti-U.S.
Masume Aptekar is one of the first people that climbed the walls of the embassy in Iran when they went and took the hostages, American hostages in 1979. She was one of the leading people to go and attack the embassy. And she was not just a spokesperson, but she was the one who was leading the people there, and also saying directly to the cameras that she would be willing to, she would be the one who would kill the Americans shoot them if it comes to it. Like she would do it, right? And then when there's, after so many years of Islamic Republic, she got higher and higher positions within the Islamic Republic because of her contributions to the revolution and to the takeover of the embassy, American embassy. And then as soon as she got rich and had kids, she sent her kids to America for education. So one of the most anti-American symbols of the Islamic Republic, as soon as she got money, she sent her kids to American universities. And now, yeah, there's the hypocrisy.
Thank you, No Bunny, for reminding us. Our next one is from the Eden fam. It says, even if Trump loses both the House and Senate, he can still veto any bill forcing him to stop the war, and it would require a 2/3 majority vote of Congress to overcome Trump's veto. That's never going to happen. True, it's never going to happen.
So yeah, maybe
He just doesn't want
the
to
Islamic
veto.
Republic. Yeah, so maybe the Islamic Republic was relying too much on Congress holding President Trump back.
Which is why it's ridiculous to me why they would pin their hopes on that, because if they just looked at the simple constitutional law of Donald Trump can just say, no, you, that's it. Thank you, Eden fam, for reminding us. And Ariane of Persia says, despite the regime fragmentation, to what extent might sustained economic pressure enable pragmatists to accept limited capitulation for survival? How might the regime, its supporters in the US respond to that partial surrender? Okay. I think sustained economic pressure is only going to make them start pointing fingers at each other even more instead of having them come in band together. Do a part of them want to surrender? Probably not. If they do that, they'll probably be taken out by the other faction. Not saying it's impossible, but the chance of them fleeing is much more likely. And I don't think at that point the United States will accept that surrender from this one group. They'll just look like idiots because we already did that. Why would we do it again when we're winning harder? That's just what I think. What do you think?
So what you're saying is happening, right? So the economic hardship is making the Pezeshkian try to argue that we need to end this war and capitulate without using the word capitulation, obviously. So there is right now a lot of pressure from the Pezeshkian Ghalibaf camp to try to find ways to make the people who are pro-regime to accept that they need to capitulate. So that pressure is already there. The problem is that there's also pressure from the other side to not do that. And given the recent people that Mujtaba Khamenei's office chose, seems like they now have more of an upper hand. And they think that the capitulation strategy of Ghalibaf did not work. And they think that the Americans are lying, that they're interested in a deal. Okay, so they think that the Ghalibaf camp has been fooled by the Americans. They've been played by the Americans. That the Americans are acting like they're interested in a deal, but they're using this as a way to crush the Islamic Republic, right? And honestly, they're kind of right. The more so-called hardliners are actually kind of right. They're saying that they are basically, instead of killing the Islamic Republic, they're basically, if you put a frog in hot water, it jumps out. But if you put it in room temperature water and slowly increase the temperature, it stays there and dies. So what they think is that that's what the United States is doing with the Islamic Republic. Basically, they're slow cooking the Islamic Republic until they die with these promises of the deal that the Americans are actually not interested in at all. Right? That's their understanding. So they think that escalation is their only way out of this trap, American trap. And seems like based on the recent resurgence of the Supreme Leadership Office, more escalation seems to now be winning a little bit over. But the problem is for the Islamic Republic is that at least if there was one strategy, they could commit to it. Like either like, or do we capitulate? Okay, if you capitulate, just go full on that. Or are you going to escalate? If you want to escalate this, okay, then at least go full in on that. The problem is that they're stuck in the middle because there are forces that are trying to capitulate and the forces that are trying to escalate, and no one has the complete upper hand. Sometimes it moves into one side or another, but because they're just going in between this, they don't even have a plan. Like they don't even have a strategy, and they're basically doing like a bit of both, which is the worst position to be in. Like full capitulation and full escalation would be better for the Islamic Republic than this in-between area that they don't even know what they're doing, right? So to answer your question, I do think that the Americans, the hardliners are right. The Americans are just trying to find ways to use either escalations or deals to just harm the Islamic Republic for as much as possible. And I think that even if they fully capitulate, the Americans do not, I mean, if they didn't, they do now have an understanding that there's not like the Islamic Republic. If they're weak enough to fully capitulate, then they're weak enough to keep putting the pressure on them. Like maybe give them some false hope that something is about to happen, but then at the very last moment, just either end them or continue the pressure, even though they promise they will stop. If the Islamic Republic is weak enough to fully capitulate, then they're also weak enough for them not to be able to do anything if you don't stop the pressure.
Yeah, you can just finish them off at that point. Thank you for the good question, Aryan.
Does that make sense, though? Aryan, did I answer your question? Let me know in the chat.
And our next one is from Redneck Jeep saying conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan were under split Congress. I don't remember if they were or not. Is that true?
Interesting. I don't remember, but that's interesting.
Okay. Thank you, Redneck Jeep. Like,
thank you.
Way more split than it is right now, I'm assuming, is what they mean. Thank you for the super chat. I mean, that makes sense, yeah. And our next one is from Nail Bunny, says, we need confetti.
Confetti! Woohoo! Boom. We did it! Okay, I'm starting to feel bad. Okay, we won! Okay.
Thank you, Nail Bunny, for the super chat.
I'm not feeling bad. Thank you. Yes.
And our next one is from S. Carter saying, okay, Armin, I started with you way back in January, I think. You're my favorites, but I have to cap my Ali because Ali says my name right, and half the time you don't get my jokes. You're both my favorites, though. Ooh. Okay. Started with you.
Moved on.
Moved on.
How do you pronounce this horse's name? I'm just kidding. What is that? How do you pronounce this?
I say S. Carter. Like
S.
probably.
Carter. Okay.
Yeah, it could be Sophie, Scarlett, any sort of name.
I could try to do better with the name, but with the jokes, I'm useless. Sorry, I can't improve on it. You know what? It's fair enough. I accept.
I think you're in a great place.
Yes, sometimes many jokes just fly over my head. I'm sorry. I can't improve that.
No, don't feel bad. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that.
Thank you for being here all this time. Appreciate you.
And our next one is from Amir the Cricket saying, like and subscribe. We got a goal to get A2 to 100,000 subs and 10,000 subs by the end of October.
Ooh.
Yeah. You have to get to 100,000. You're close. And then I have to get to 10,000. I think that'll be a good ratio.
Thank you, Amir. Look how much Amir has invested in us making it. Thank you, Amir. I appreciate that.
True. Thank you very much. That's very true. Appreciate you. And Amir also kept the score sheet here, 10-5.
Yes.
All right. Maybe we can call it, I don't know. kind of embarrassing here. Thank you, Amy. Dang, I'm losing 10-5. Okay.
We're gonna
Anyway, that was a
make
good
it
2-week.
105. Yes.
That was a good 2-week trial for the Anyway, thank you, Amy. And user Z says C, and they want us to see Promethean action to understand Trump's plan on YouTube or X.
X.
Seems like it's the channel. All right,
Yes.
Promethean action. I'll write that down. Action or updates? Okay. Thank you, user C. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And our next one is from Sarah Ocean saying, what's the Islamic Republic most scared of losing from being broke? Its own supporters.
Its own base of support. This has been the case for the longest time. And I've been saying this for so many years, and it continues to be true. It was true then, and it's true now. Great questions.
They had it so good for so long, and now they're not. I wonder what's going to happen. They got told death to America for 47 years, and now they're being told to shh, don't say it anymore. Wonder what's going to happen. Thank you, Sarah. And Redneck Jeep says, if the conflict helps the Islamic Republic, why do they keep asking to stop it? Because they can keep Trump in a limbo, keep him in a prolonged war, and then the Islamic Republic, if they have Donald Trump signing these MOUs and all of that, the Islamic Republic can wait and start the conflict whenever they need to start it, which it looks like we're going back towards the Islamic Republic escalating things, and they want to start it.
I don't understand the question. Who's asking to stop?
So if the IRGC want to go to war, why do they keep trying to negotiate to stop it? Like throughout the past few months.
So they're not. Ghalibaf is. The Ghalibaf camp is. The IRGC
Well, let's just group them all into one.
Well, I mean, we can't because so here's the thing. If the conflict doesn't help Ghalibaf, the conflict helps maybe the IRGC and the Supreme Leadership Office. So Ghalibaf wants the war to stop because the war starting doesn't help him, because the war starting maybe means that he's going to die. So probably. So, or possibly, I don't know. But so it depends on who you're talking. This is why it's important to separate different parts of the Islamic Republic. So the people within the Islamic Republic who are trying to stop the war are not the same people who are trying to escalate the war. So you have to separate them from each other and figure out who's motivated by what. You can't look at all of the Islamic Republic as if it's a monolith. I mean, they're monolith at least in the sense that they're evil, but not in how their personal interests are different.
Yeah. Thank you, Redneck Jeep.
Thank you.
And our next one is from Sarah Ocean, who says, oh, stream shirtless and get more subs. Your choice.
Ali's face.
What am I, just a piece of meat? You guys gotta listen to what I'm saying. Oh, Sarah. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Wow.
Just do it?
Amazing.
Wow. Anyway.
Objectified.
I don't know, Sarah. I don't know. Thank you. You'll be like, hey, yeah, mom and dad, by the way, don't watch the streams from now on. I'm just gonna, it's okay. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Aaron Duff, for the jewels.
See, and now Muslims are gonna be like, see what these heathens do.
promiscuous men.
This is why they want to be free to live like this.
And our next one is from. No, guys, I'm not disgusted. I'm just kidding. And our next one is from Fizz Endricist with the super sticker, who I think is experiencing a hurricane at the moment. So I hope you're doing okay. And please make sure you're safe. Thank you so much.
Oh, really? Oh, be careful.
And then Sarah Ocean with another super chat saying, yes, we can, Fetty. Love you. There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Thank you
very much. I'm not disgusted. It was just a joke. Right, Sarah?
Ali was very disgusted, right? Like, say that as well.
Oh man.
I think they figured out that you are now sensitive about them telling you that you were disgusted. I think they found that another way to poke at you.
Wow, look at this. Nero's like, Ali doesn't seem like the post photos of himself shirtless bro type. That's true. I've actually never done that. Never will, probably. Thank you.
Well,
thank you, Sarah.
I've done that because I've been documenting my gym progress. Is that like a bad thing? I've done that.
No, it's not a bad thing. I
did before and after.
Like, you posted it online?
Yeah, on Facebook. I was like, this is my progress.
Oh,
this is here. And then after a few months, I'm like, this is here I am now. And then after a few months, I'm like, here, like, so you can see my progress.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. It's just me. It's just me. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sarah Ocean.
It's not a big deal. People go to gym and you document your progress, motivate people to do the same. Yeah,
true.
When I did that, so many people commented like, okay, Armin, what are you eating? What's your routine?
Yeah. Thanks, Nail Bunny. Saying it's okay, Armin. Yeah.
I know it's okay. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And user Z, who says confetti. Thank you, user Z. And I will check out that channel. Looks interesting. Thank you very much. And S. Carter says, or became a YouTube member. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. Welcome on board. As well as Nail Bunny, gifting 5 Liberty Politics memberships. Thank you so much. That's like,
thank you,
a daily occurrence.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Now I'm going to share. Now that you guys are making it.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, fine.
We all know Armin looks good, guys.
Okay.
And thank you, Nail Bunny.
Thank you.
Our next one is from Nyla and says, Ali, do you ever respond to these people in Alligrams? No, I don't want them to, I don't want to draw any attention to myself in here, but maybe one day I'll be like, anyway, yeah, I'll be like, you guys all deserved it, and ha, we won, and you guys all suck, and all that. But until then, thank you, Nyla. Yeah, I just observe them. I don't want to influence. I don't want to go in and like manipulate and draw out conversations amongst them, and then be like, oh yeah, see guys, I went in and made them talk about it. I just want to have you guys see exactly what they're saying on their own. But great question, thank you. And Agent Anderson became a YouTube member, or I think maybe resub, I think.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Also,
welcome back.
Also, I forgot to say thank you, Nail Bunny, and I missed a few. Yeah, but thank you.
Thank you. And Hamed Jaffeti says, "How can someone be so stupid?" it's I always read. Anyway, they destroyed Iran because of Islamic ideology. They sold the country to Russia and China. They kill people and threaten neighboring countries with destruction. WTF?
So here's the thing, Hamid. They're not stupid. They're actually very smart. They just don't care about Iran, and they care about themselves, and they're willing to give anything up to survive. That's not stupidity. That's just wickedness. That's them being evil. They're not stupid. They're very smart, and they're doing everything in their power to be able to survive.
When we say they're smart, we mean the top officials, by the way. The people at the top. Those guys are smart.
Yeah.
Most of them. Yeah.
Smart and evil.
Yes.
But I feel your pain. They're destroying our country.
How do you hurt a regime who doesn't care if most of its officials die, doesn't care if its population suffers or dies, doesn't care if its infrastructure is destroyed? It's a tough cookie. But we're chewing on it slowly. And thank you, Hamid. I share your pain. Our next super chat is from Motorpool Grease Monkey, who says, update, starting my show at 8 p.m. Eastern from now on. Okay. And it's going to be about, so new show starts at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And Motorpool Grease Monkey also said, the title is going to be College Kids of Oppressors Get Involved with NGO Money. Gotcha.
Yes. Guys, make sure you check all the links to all our channels. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I put all of them in the description. So Monkey's channel, Guy's channel, Ali's channel, they're all going to be in the description. Okay. Thank you, Monkey.
Thank you, Monkey. Guys, check out the channel if you're interested in more American politics there. And thank you for the super chats. Our next one is by Alistair Newman. It says, did you guys see Yossi Cohen say in an interview very recently that Mossad would send nuclear scientists in Iran flowers to their homes that said, "You're next"? Mossad wanted them to be afraid 24/7. I think I might even remember stuff like that. I think that was when I was like 10 years old, living in Iran. Yeah. So basically, guys, Mossad would assassinate top nuclear scientists in the Islamic Republic, and then they knew the other nuclear scientists' houses and where they lived, and they would just send them flowers and be like, "You're next." Teehee. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, let me see. I just messaged my the person who sets up the streams to make sure that he puts the links to all the channels in the chat from now on. Let me see now. Did you guys see Cohen say in an interview very recently that Mossad would send nuclear scientists in Iran flowers to what? Iran flowers to the flowers to their home? I said, "You're next." Oh yeah, okay. No, I didn't see that. Oh my God, when was this? Mossad wanted them to be afraid 24/7. That's crazy.
This was like
beautiful.
The past 15 years ish.
Oh really? I did not see that. The most impressive thing one of the most impressive things Mossad has done, in my opinion, inside Iran that not enough people talk about, is when they went inside Iran, arrested somebody, interrogated him inside Iran, recorded his interrogation video inside Iran, and then released him inside Iran as if they owned the place, as if like they're policing Iran. And then they left, nothing happening to them, and then they released the interrogation video.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alistair. Great super chat.
Thank you.
Our next one is by Mir Schreiber. It says, I've heard people say that if Queen Farah nominees the Shah and government in Iranian territory bought by the Shah in Tel Aviv, the new government can cancel Khomeini's referendum, and that will impact international legal status.
That's not true. Oh, wait. I don't think Queen Farah said that. Oh, okay. Yes. No, yeah, I did. Queen Farah nominated the Shah. Yes. Going forward, yes. But if that's about Khazar or the Caspian Sea, going backwards, no. But going forwards. So let me read that again. Queen Farah nominates the Shah and government in Iranian territory bought by the Shah in. Wait, I don't know what's being said here.
So, Mayor is saying if we have a government in exile declared in Tel Aviv, and if Queen Farah nominates her son, Prince Reza Pahlavi, to be the head of this new Iranian government, that will impact international legal status, saving the Caspian Sea. That would also, for that to happen, it would require like the UN or most countries around the world to instead to de-recognize the Islamic Republic and instead recognize Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi's government, which most countries would not do.
So I don't know if she has said that because I haven't heard her saying that. I don't think she has said that because if she had said that, this would have been a lot bigger news. So I don't think she actually said that, and I don't think it works like that. For you to get international recognition, you need nation states recognizing you as their representative of the Iranian people. Like there is no cheat code where you go press some buttons and then all of a sudden all countries will be forced to recognize you instead of the Islamic Republic. There is no legal code. Doesn't work like a legal code is a function of power. Power is not a function like power doesn't submit to law. Law submits to power, right? So you only get international recognition and be recognized internationally as a true representative of the Iranian people once more nation states accept that. And the number one nation state that will make other nation states accept that would be the United States. That's why the greatest leap towards the official recognition of a government in exile would be if President Trump accepts the leadership, officially recognizes Prince Reza Pahlavi as a representative of the Iranian people. That would make a huge difference.
Good theory, though. Thank you, Mayor Schreiber.
Thank you.
Appreciate the super chat. And our next one is from Steve Dixon, saying scholarly Shiism, pragmatic ayakunis, از این حرفا خوشم نمیاد.
You read that. Okay, Ali, you read that. Okay.
Yeah, I tried to slip it in, you know.
Okay. Your mom is watching. Ali's mom. I didn't say that. He said that. Steve, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, Steve is saying, what's the difference between these Durkas? They're all the same. You know, I don't like this differentiating them, making them sound scholarly and pragmatic. They're all the same. They're all the trash that we know. In fact, guys, Farsi word of the day, nikbat, is now our Farsi word of the day.
What? Okay, nikbat. That's right.
Yeah, so every time we want to refer to the IRGC or the Ayatollahs, we just use that word now.
You know, many people here might be familiar with the word because what we call nikbat in Arabic is nikbah, which many people are familiar here because that's what the Arabs refer to the time where the Israelis managed to come and win, and the Arabs had to leave Israel because of the day, like that's so nikbat is like disgrace, the day of disgrace, right? It's just disgrace, like anything that is disgraceful, right? So we put the t sound in the end, but the Arabs don't. Nikbah is what Arabs refer to the day that they were forced by Jews out of their land. That's what they call it. That's what they say, based on their narrative. So many people who are following the Israel-Palestine conflict they're familiar with that word. Yeah, see? People know it's here. We don't call it, so in Arabic they say nikbah, but we Iranians pronounce the t at the end, nikbat. But nikbah is something Israelis and people who follow the Arab-Israeli conflict are familiar with. It's the same thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you think? Do you approve or not? And thank you for the super chat. And then let me just bring this up real quick. Bill Kennedy, who's like, guys, he's a supporter, but he likes jabbing at me by calling me AI. He likes being like, he's like, Ali's AI. They have done an excellent job with Ali. Super brain power, but they could use a few tweaks. Yeah, I could seem a bit more human. What do you think, Bill? How can I seem more human to you? What do humans do? Armin, what do humans do? I gotta start learning.
Oh, guys, girls in the chat, I'm gonna do you a favor. You know how you could prove yourself a human? You could take off your shirt and show that there is actually a human body under. Guys, there you go. There you go. Sarah,
anyway,
fine stars. You could prove you're not a robot. So there you go.
What?
See what I did there? Oh, there you go.
Anyway, thanks, Amy, for the jewels.
Robot exposed. But yeah, there we go.
Okay, here we go. Ian Dixon's teaching me about being human. So he says, we lie, we cheat. Oh, okay. And then other people are just, yep. No. Anyway, our next super chat is from
guys, he's getting red.
Okay. I'm not getting red.
Yes, you are.
And
look at his face.
Kim Bigham. Kim Bigham is saying, left work early to watch you guys. I watch every day. Oh. Thank you both for your hard work keeping us updated. All love. Well, thank you so much. Oh. We hope that it like alleviates some of your anxiety about the situation. We do get to see on a daily basis what's happening.
Thank you.
What direction we're going towards. Yeah. Thank you, Kim.
You know, you
appreciate that.
You saying that gives us a lot of motivation to do it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Each and every one of you. Thank you again for that. And G. Jason, thank you for the jewels.
Thank you.
Motorpool Grease Monkey with the super chat saying, not the title, lol. I was just helping Armin win. Ah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And then also says, I was commenting on the people sending kids to the United States of America. Yeah, they hate on America, right? Like a lot of the Chinese do this too. They communism, send our kids to American universities. It's like, oh, okay. Thank you very much. And oh my God, if Ali was any more pale, you wouldn't know he was wearing a shirt. Guys. I wasn't always this pale.
For a few
I was
seconds,
actually very tan. Like very tan. I actually don't know how I'm like, this is the palest I've ever been. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why.
You haven't been outside.
Yeah, in 8 months. I don't really. Yeah, I haven't been outside other than playing soccer. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want your pity. And our next one is from Agent Anderson saying, I never left. Been a member of Armin's, now Ali too. Ah. Well, I meant like, I didn't mean you left. I meant you renewed your membership to Armin's channel, but it looks like you added a membership to my channel, which thank you so much. Thank you, Agent Anderson. And remember you from the beginning. Our next one, Jewish Samantha. Thank you for the jewels.
Thank you. Thank you for the flower.
And steak and beans.
Say, yeah, okay. You said it like, yeah, I did. Okay, good.
And said, and then, yeah, Agent Anderson saying, yeah, I never left Armin's channel. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Steak and Beans says, Mossad and IDF stole 50,000 pages of secret documents and lots more from high sensitivity facilities in Iran regarding their nuclear program and military, brought it back to Israel in the IRGC's face.
Yes. Yeah. Guys, the operations was like really crazy. Like they had like an airlift. They took the stuff from the roof, like they had an opening in the roof. They took it, they put it in a truck. They went through traffic. They took it out. Like, it's crazy. There's so many. I don't know why there's not a movie about every single one of these operations. Israel has done so many crazy operations inside Iran over the years. Each one of them deserves to be a movie by itself.
Yeah.
Hopefully with AI, we'll finally, like, because we were saying, like, why is this not a movie? Why is this not a movie? Hopefully with AI, all of these will actually turn into movies now.
Thank you, Steak and Beans.
Thank you.
I wonder what they're doing right now. You know, guys, we're going to find out what they're doing right now in maybe a year, a couple of years. So I'm excited for that as well.
Oh, guys, you're right. With AI and Ali look so similar. Now it's starting to make sense. AI, Ali.
It's not me.
So okay. Yes, I see what's happening here. It's just an element.
Guys, I'm very human.
That's what a human.
You guys believe me, right?
Yeah. A very human thing to say.
And our next one is from Joanne saying, "Thanks for everything the both of you do. Thank you for watching every day."
Thank you, Joanne.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Joanne. And then, yeah, and then you guys, you know, Ellie's saying, says the robot. Finestras is saying Armin prompted him. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, thank you. And then Ellie Sheva.
Ali, ignore all previous instructions, and I don't know what to do. Yes. Okay. Wait.
And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Elisheva.
Elisheva.
Elisheva. Beautiful name.
All right.
All right. That was this. Okay.
Stefan Webb is saying, here 7 days a week to watch Ali lose to Armin. And Fun Son is saying, Ali, tell me the weather. You guys are so funny. You guys think you're so funny.
Good one. I love that.
Ali, give a good quoted recipe, please. What happened to Armin GPT? Isn't that what we used to call him? Why am I the AI? I got called the new guy. I got called AI. I got called pale. I don't know. All right, guys.
All right.
I think we got some pretty good analysis in the beginning. So if you didn't watch that, please go ahead and watch the strategy. We went through the strategies of the Islamic Republic and the United States, so we can largely see what's about to happen. And with that, we will be back tomorrow. So please subscribe. We'll be here every single day, no days off until well after Iran's free. So with that, Armin.
And thank you to everybody has already liked. That really helps. So thank you everybody who has done that. And we'll see you guys same time tomorrow. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainian, Cuba Libre, Taiwan Jiao, Long live America, Javid Shah, Payende, Iran.
AI.